Hi everyone, it's Lynn here from Inside Knowledge, and I'm continuing on the theme of the introduction to positive psychology. In the last video, I talked about happiness. In this video, I'm going to take a broader view. We're going to stand back and we're going to look at all of the emotions. We're going to talk about embracing all of our emotions. So we have a tendency to sort of want and cling to positive emotion, and to feel that if we're experiencing negative emotion, that's a dysfunction or it's something we want to avoid. But that's not the case. It's actually psychologically healthy to experience a full range of emotion, because life is a mix of both positive and negative. So it's completely natural to at times feel anger or fear or anxiety or some other emotion that we may choose to avoid. And it helps to understand that there is a purpose to every single emotion. So fear and anger, which are two what we would consider negative emotions, they are designed to help us to deal with a threat. So fear encourages us to run away from a threat, and anger encourages us to go on the attack. So both of those are very important emotions when we're under threat. So the other thing to understand about negative emotions is that we are born with a negativity bias, because our brain has evolved for survival, not for happiness. So for that reason, we will tend to notice far more negative things than positive. And we also tend to experience negative emotions more intensely than we do happy emotions. So the important thing with negative emotions, well, all the emotions really, is not to repress them, but to face up to them. One way we can handle negative emotion is describing it in great detail. How does it feel in your body? How does it feel in your mind? What are the thoughts that you're having? What are some of the colours associated with it? Go into great detail. That can actually help diffuse some of the emotion, and it's used a lot in counselling to help people deal with difficult emotions. We also have a cycle of thought, emotion, and behaviour, and that just keeps feeding on itself. It's like a circle. Once we become aware of that and what aspect of the circle we're in, we can actually learn to disrupt that cycle if we've got ourselves caught up in a negative cycle. So these are really good techniques that we can learn there. In terms of positive emotion, because we have a negativity bias and because we experience negative emotions more intensely, it's important to actually cultivate positive experience and positive emotion. One great way that we can do that is through gratitude, and we teach a really great technique called 3 good things. So you usually at the end of the day, you share with other people in your household or your friends and family 3 good things that have happened to you that day. You can also write them down in a journal, and that's been shown to be a great way to cultivate positive emotion. The other thing is to consider PERMA, which we talked about in the last video. So all aspects of PERMA provide you with opportunities to experience positive emotions. So if you develop those aspects of your lives, then you have a really good chance to develop positive emotion. Then we go into exploration phase again, and particularly look at journaling, because journaling is a great way to manage our emotions. I have a regular journaling habit. I like to write in my journal at the end of every day if I can. And I interviewed Nancy Siebel on my podcast, and there's a link to that in the course, so you can listen to that podcast. She also takes writing workshops, and I attended one of her workshops the other day, and it was amazing. So it's not just learning to write, it's, I would say, a combination of writing and coaching and therapy all rolled into one. It was an incredibly powerful experience. The other thing that you might consider is listening to podcasts by Sarah Carpenter and Michael Walker. They deal with issues of depression and anxiety. And a final podcast interview that may interest you is Tracy Nichols. She is a specialist in highly sensitive people. And in that podcast, she gives some really practical ways that people with high sensitivity can manage their lives in a way that sort of takes some of the intensity out of things. I mean, being sensitive is a wonderful attribute, but it can be difficult when you're dealing with a lot of emotion. So, yeah, we've covered a lot in today's video. If you're interested in taking the Positive Psychology course or any of the courses under Embodied Resilience, you can find links to these in my website, insideknowledge.blog. Thank you.